Okay. We're going to try this again.
All right.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Tammy Trailer, and this is Trailer Talks. Our guest tonight is Chef Brandon Caine. I'll let you the name of his company or whatever. We are on Trailer Talks. We're here with Kingdom Conversations. We have Kingdom Conversations that transcend our sphere and that they're beyond where we are. Tonight, we want to interview my son. I'm excited tonight. We want to interview my son and just bring uh, his sphere of his sphere of influence and his company to the forefront so everyone can find out what's going on. Before I get ahead of myself again, I'm Tammy Trailer. This is Trailer Talks. And our spotlighted guest, I'll let him introduce himself and the name of his company. Go ahead.
Hello. My name is Brandon Caine. I am the owner of Northern Exposure Hospitality. It's a hospitality. We do catering. We deal with anything that you'd like, food, anything in the hospitality thing, parties, banquets, anything like that. Um, I've been opened up since 2016. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. I'm originally from Akron, Ohio, but I've been living in Baton Rouge since 2004.
Okay, slow down because you answering all my questions are. So you
Oh,
have been in the you're answering you've been in the industry how many years?
20 years.
20 years. 20 years again. This is Chef Brandon Caine. And I wouldn't have him on my show if he couldn't do what he does well. And I appreciate that he can cook. He can't just the whole line. He's professional about everything that he does, and it tastes good too. So
Well,
that's
thank
good.
you.
I Go ahead.
No, I was just saying
Yeah,
thank you.
that and he is a hospitality specialist. So if you have parties, anything that you need food for, Northern Exposure. Am I right?
Yeah, Northern Exposure.
Northern Exposure is available for you. He can get it right for you and serve it up for you. We'll let you give your contact information a little later on in the show.
Okay.
But uh, I'm glad to have you on. I'm excited about your business. He don't look that old, but he said he's been in the industry for 20 years. And you can not only prepare the food, cook the food, serve the food, but one thing I appreciate is that you
Oh,
uh,
oh, I lost
technical
you.
difficulties will keep going.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, one thing I appreciate is that you love to cook. It's something about when somebody preparing something for you and they just doing it just to be doing, but you love to cook. Tell us about that.
Well,
Tell
I
them.
started cooking. I started cooking when I was 7. My mom just put me in the kitchen. I was just drawn to her like cooking, and then so once I was in there, I never really like left out. And then so she'll just having me prepare little things, and then she just see what I could do, and then like she would have me make like spaghetti, like easy stuff, like just browning like the ground meat and putting the sauce and making spaghetti, and then boiling the noodles. And then she seen I could do that. Then she showed me how to fry chicken. And then I got before I went to school, like when I learned how to make roux and stuff, like making gravies from scratch and stuff like that. When I did like smothered chicken and smothered pork chops and stuff like that, and then breakfast food like pancakes and waffles and scrambled eggs and all of that. And then as I just when I actually figured I was like actually good at it, I just decided I was going to become a chef and go to culinary school.
So that's wonderful. You like so he just doesn't know how to cook. He is professionally trained. So that's good. Professionally trained, so he knows what it ain't just his grandmother's recipe. He's been prepared. He's been professionally trained, and he knows how to display it and set up whatever you need. Um, so you've been in the industry for 20 years. Uh, you have your own. I want to call you a personal chef. Uh, he's a
But that's
personal
that,
chef.
that's why I call it it's a hospitality company, because I could do personal chefing. I do meal preps for people with like dietary needs. I just don't fall in one umbrella. So anything that you need dealing with food or anything with the hospitality, like customized menus or just anything, I could do cocktails, anything in that falls in the hospitality bracket, I can do.
Okay. Okay. So anything you need to fall in the hospitality bracket, he can do.
Yeah,
Hear
or
what I'm saying?
yeah, or
That's
if I
why
can't do it, I can get somebody to for you.
that's good. That's that's very good. That's good. So you been in the industry for 20 years. Uh you started out cooking as a mama's cook
Yeah.
since you were 7.
Uh-huh.
Uh, is so is there tell us, is there anything that you would share with someone that would like to get into this industry, into the culinary arts, or anything like that? Anything you want to share with them?
I would if just make sure you really had a passion for it. And it's not, I mean, now these days everybody, because of social media and people post pictures and stuff. They make it as easy, but it isn't. I mean, it's easy, but it's really a grind behind it. And I mean, you really have to work hard for the craft. It's not just like you go in there, whip a couple pans together, and put a couple things and some garnish on the plate and make it look pretty. You just really, it's a really a grind and a passion for it. It's not for the industry is really not for everybody. But if you put in the work and you find your lane, I mean, it's way more opportunities now and different ways to get out there, but you just have to stick to it. I mean, the first advice that when I got before I went to culinary school was the gentleman told me, said, make sure your food tastes good, then go to making it look good. Because you can get
Okay.
past if it doesn't look
Oh,
good, but it tastes good. But if it look good and then it doesn't taste good, then it's a problem.
wow. Yeah. One thing I just heard you say is you have to stick with it. So tell me about journey to it. You can you don't. It doesn't take a. It doesn't just Hello?
Hey.
Technical difficulty again. Just bear with us. But again, like I said, tell us about it. Just doesn't happen overnight because I think a lot of people need to hear that because a lot of people say, "Oh, I know how to do this. I know how to do that," and they jump up and they want the television show, which makes it look easy, but they don't show the years, the 20 years, and being in the industry and you haven't gotten your break. So tell us about the journey as far as being there and consistent. That's the word I want to use. Being
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah, it's a really a consistency. It's just not taking shortcuts. Like I went to when I went to culinary school, so it was like six the class it was like a for 2 years, but they started us from scratch. Like we had to learn how to boil water, cut vegetables, how to cut how to cook blanch vegetables, the cook different cooking procedures like grilling, sauteing, baking, searing, all that. So it's just like you might be good. Like some people are good at sauteing, but might not be good at grilling. Or you might be good at grilling, but might not be good at sauteing. So it's just through the years of like doing what you're good at, but then working on what you're not good at, so you can be well rounded all the way. You might not be complete, but you can be able to do it, and then the product comes out quality, good, tastes good, it's done right, and the people are pleased. But then not just the cooking aspect of it, knowing the business side of knowing if you're going to do a party for 200 people, how to get the right amount of food so you won't run out, but also where the people you're making money yourself, you're not losing on just buying the stuff so you don't run out, so you're making a profit and the people are enjoying the food too, because some people can cook in small amounts but they can't cook in big amounts, and some people can cook in big amounts but can't cook in small amounts. So it's the fact of just it's a balance.
Yeah, and with you saying, some people can cook in big amounts and some can cook in small amounts because you have to know at least how much seasoning for whatever, so it can still taste good either way. But
Yeah,
that's the difference between a cook and a chef.
yeah. Funny thing, like when I first got out of culinary school, and like I say I was probably cook about like 3 years in, and when I would go home to visit my mom and I would cook. But I was working at the Bella Baton Rouge when it was the Sheraton, like back when it was like in the heyday when it was busy. So I was cooking for like I'll have a party for like 1,000 people, 1,500 people. I'll have a party for like 500 people. So then I'll come home and I'll cook food, but I'll cook a lot of food. And my mom's like, I understand why you cook all this food. But then like, what was the whole thing like, and that's when I learned, like when I cook a little bit of food, I will either over season or under season it. But if I cooked a lot of food, it'll be done perfect. So through my journey, just learning like, breaking the stuff down and just seasoning for one person portion, 5 portions and stuff like that, instead of seasoning for 100 portions or 1,000 portions.
Okay, that's good. That's real good. Somebody needs to know that. Uh, I know I have learned that I am not a cook for a whole bunch of people. I know how to cook for home. I listen. I know how to cook. I'm not a chef. I know how to cook for home because Uh, I don't know how to season for a whole bunch of people. But that's where they have people like you. You hire professionals. I can cook, but you are a chef. Um, so how long was the training, or your you how long did you have to be in school
So
to get started on this training?
so I was in actual school for a year, like a year and a half. I went from as soon as I graduated, I went from June of 2002 to to 2003. Then you had to like they teach you how to interview process and stuff like that. So I had a couple interviews. One, but funny thing, I interviewed for the Superdome in 2002, but I didn't get the job. But I ended up getting a job at Walt Disney World.
Okay.
So I ended up working at Walt Disney World for 6 months from June to like November, and that was like my externship, and then I graduated after that.
Okay. Okay. So it's a requirement to go to school and then intern somewhere
Yeah, you had to.
for.
Yeah, you had to do it. It was a like externship, so you had to. So they wanted you to do like 4 months, but with Disney, they asked you to stay 6 months. So I did 6 months, and so I did
Okay.
like two. I was in the animal kingdom, so I did 2 months in each part, like each part of each restaurant in the animal kingdom.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Again, to my listening audience, this is Chef Brandon Caine. Our topic on tonight is the broad world of the culinary arts, and he is just sharing his experience and sharing his his expertise in his field. And again, we were actually talking about being a cook or versus I say that versus being a chef, knowing how to cook for the measure of people that you have. Uh, you shared with us or anyone that was trying to get into the field. You shared with us encouraging words or some enlightening information. Um, I want you to give us your contact information. How we'll be able to contact you if if we have a event and we do need a culinary specialist or we do need a chef. Tell us how to get in contact with you.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm at Northern Exposure _ 1983. All my information is on there, and I'm also on Facebook at Northern Exposure. So my telephone number, my email address, and everything. I mean, you could just DM me, or you could just DM message me on Messenger, Brandon Caine on Facebook. I'm easy to find.
Okay. Again, that is Brandon Caine. His business, his company is Northern Exposure. He's a hospitality. Tell me again, hospitality
Yeah,
what specialist?
yeah, hospitality specialist.
Hospitality specialist for any of. He's not just a cook, but he's a chef for any of your events, your parties, your weddings, whatever. He's available for you. His company is available for you, and also you don't just cook. You have your staff with you that offer the serving and all of that. Everything, anything you said, anything to
Yeah,
do with hospitality, y'all can.
and
Okay, that's
if
wonderful.
if I'm not able to get the service, I can get somebody to you to help.
If you're not, and that's good workmanship that you can share the work if you're not available.
Yeah,
You're just not trying to get anything to yourself.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
awesome. But
it's some things that
he
I'm not specialized in too that I'm qualified to do. Like I mean, like baking and stuff like that. So I mean, I could refer you to anything that you're looking for, like in that field. Like if I'm not capable to do it, I can refer you to somebody.
okay, okay, all right. That is awesome. Okay, last a few questions. What drew you to the field? What drew you to hospitality?
Just the part of just helping, like the yeah, I mean the hospitality service is it's just so long. I mean, just helping somebody, the food, you can have a bad day, but you can have a meal that makes you feel better. The part of taking
Yeah.
um something, like taking nothing and making something out of it. Like I mean, our lineage come from just taking things and putting them together and making something great. So just the like even the nostalgia of like something that your grandmother might have made or your mom made, and then you make it and it just take you back to that thing, just take you back to that moment. But then you could just pass it on uh like a sweet potato pie. Like your grandmother, your great grandmother might have made it, and then your grandmother made it. Then you pass it down, and then you have a family function, and they're like, oh man, that tastes just like how Big Mama made it. Just those little things.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I told you, you all, he loves to cook and he loves what he does. So that's major. To me, give me something with some love in it. Like you could taste if somebody was mad or they didn't feel like doing something, you could taste it in the food. I want someone that loves what they do. And you have such a beautiful spirit, and it shows through through your art and through your food. So again, I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do, and I
Thank you.
appreciate your heart towards what you do. We again, this is Tammy Trainer. This is Trailer Talks, and we have been having a conversation, a kingdom conversation with Chef Brandon Caine. His business is Northern Exposure Hospitality. And could you give us your contact info again before we leave off? Give us your contact info again in case anyone has an event and they need your services.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook at just Brandon Caine, BrandonCaine. I'm also the Northern Exposure. Also on Instagram, Northern Exposure underscore 1983 on Instagram.
Okay. All right. You got that? He has uh, he's given us his contact information, and I encourage you all to use him to invest in. No, what? Let me say this. I say this for a lot of people that I interview. Uh, it is not for free. He'll call you. He will give you a consultation, and he'll be able to share with you his prices. And remember, you want the best, so remember that you gonna want to remember that it ain't for free. He's a professional, licensed professional, and that he has been educated in this field, and he's here to serve you. So uh, you give consultations, don't you?
Uh-huh. I do free consultations. We can do samples, uh personal dinners, anything like that. I mean, I know people are picky about their food, especially with all the COVID things and stuff like that. I will take all the precautionary things that you want to do to make sure you feel safe, and but you still get the quality of food that you want.
Okay. That's amazing. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Trailer Talks. This has been Tammy Trailer. We have been having a kingdom conversation with Chef Brandon Caine of Northern Exposure Hospitality Services, and we are excited that his business has been spotlighted this week. We're we got we finally got you in so that we can have this interview so that more than just knows about what you do, and you are professional at what you do, and you have the paperwork to prove that you didn't just learn how to barbecue off your uncle porch. You you know you know how to you've been to school, you've been educated, and your food tastes good.
Thank you so much.
Again, this again, this has been Tammy Trailer with Trailer Talks. This has been an awesome conversation, Brandon. I love you. This is another one of my sons. I go on and on about them because they're professional at what they do, and they actually know how to do what they do. I'm excited about that,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
I'm gonna have
tell
that
a
casserole
lot.
for you this weekend too.
Go ahead.
I said I'm gonna have that
What'd you
casserole for
say?
you. I said I'm gonna have that casserole for you this weekend.
Good. Glory to God. Okay. No, don't tell everybody that because I ain't sharing. Again, thank you so much for joining us this week. Chef Caine, thank you so much to the public for being with us and uh, and sharing in this interview. And we'll see you. Everyone will be back again on next week, next Monday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time with Trailer Talks. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on next week. God
Good
bless you. Good night.
night.